where we are going to start the process of unboxing this RO system right here. Then we'll figure out how the heck we're supposed to use it. What's going on YouTube? My name is Taylor from Fishbox Studio. Got a lot of work to do today. Thought I might take you along with me. So, today I have a long list of things I need to get done. We are going to do my first water change on this tube. This is running RO water. Originally I filled it with a bunch of bottles of distilled water simply because I didn't have the RO unit yet. But it's here. I got the RO unit. So we're going to unbox it. Figure out how it works. Never used an RO unit before, so this will be fun. We're gonna give this thing a nice water change. I also got a TVS pen. Look at how we basically refill this tank, which is supposed to be a shrimp tank eventually, with RO water, as well as using remineralizing the water correctly. Thought that would be a good lesson. So, without further ado, we better get to work, man. Alright, so I have my trusty wrench and some pipe cutters just for the tube. Could just use regular pliers, but I think these are better. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So let's just take this bottom piece off. Okay, so we got the outflow in this bucket right about here. Water line coming through here inside the RO unit, and then we have it draining the excess water out on this other side of the sink. One thing I do know about RO units that you guys probably need to be aware of is you should never ever use hot water in an RO system. It's meant to be connected to a cold line. If you use hot water, it can melt the plastic or damage the internals. So don't ever use hot water. That is one thing I know. So cold water. Let's see how this goes. Oh crap, we're leaking. Maybe I didn't put it in good enough. This is still kind of leaky. Maybe I'm supposed to remove these things. Yeah, you know what? Cancel that. Maybe I am supposed to move these little blue clips out. Yeah, okay. See, whoever designed Aqua Ready RO systems, if you're watching this, put a freaking manual in your box. It would have helped to know that you gotta remove these little blue clips. I have no idea. Let's see, is that who made this? Yeah, Aqua Ready RO system. If you guys ever watch this, put a stinking user manual in here. Come on, man. What the heck? And I got one other clip right down here. Now let's just push these in a little tighter. Just to make absolutely sure we are connected properly. Yeah, that was loose. Definitely. Okay, let's try this again. No leak. Like I said, we'll start off slow. Nothing yet. Oh, it's draining. Oh, look at that, man. It's like all white. And hey, we got water. Woohoo! Let's let that run for a couple minutes. Wow, man, look at this. It's like all white. Like, looks like milk. You know what? I have an idea. Here's an experiment for you. Let's capture some of this water, this drain water, and we'll test it in comparison to see what the difference is. I don't have kits to test everything, but we can test TDS. So let's see what the difference is. This is going to be interesting. So I'll just capture some of this water in this cup. All right, guys. Test cup number one. I'm going to move it to the table over here, and then I'm going to capture a sample of the clean water, and we'll test them both. Why not? This is Fishbox. This is the Fishbox Studio Away, by the way. This is about the physics, science, and chemistry of an aquarium on a normal, everyday budget. Let me capture the good water in the blue cup. All right, guys, remember, while the RO unit is filling up, kind of wasting it for a few minutes, we're gonna test this water. And at the end of the video, we'll check the results. This is the water that came out of the unit. This is the water that came out of the drain portion of the unit. So let's try TDS. I want to see total dissolved solids. So, got my new TDS meter right here. Turn that on. Start with clean water. Alright, yeah, so TDS 1. That's like nothing. In here, it's actually not that bad. We're about 180 over here. We must have really soft water down here. So that's not terrible. Alright, so now that I've tested the TDS on this, we're just going to let the RO system fill up that bucket, and I'll try and do a water change to match that bucket amount when it's done. Remember, it's cold water, so we're probably just going to have to let it sit there for a while and sort of come to room temperature. It doesn't have to get super exact room temperature, because I mean there's nothing in that tank right now, so I'm not that worried about it. But having a drastically different temperature into a new planted tank can still shock the plants, so still gotta wait for a while. Sorry guys, Future Taylor here. Sorry for the interruption. I had a family emergency happen. Me and my wife had to leave town for a few weeks. There was a death in the family somewhere, but anyways, and then when we got back, Christmas happened and New Year's and everything else, so things just kind of got off schedule for a little bit. But we're back. I'm here to finish the video. We're a little bit, I already finished the water change that we started, but I thought I'd at least come back here and show you guys, finish showing you guys how we're going to mineralize this water down here that came from the RO unit. And I'll do the water change and I'll show you the results. Do realize the tank is going to look slightly different than what it was because it's been about 3 weeks. But hey, whatever. So we're going to start using something called Liquid Gardens. This is GH plus remineralizer. It's like kind of like salty shrimp. Same kind of thing. It's just not the salty shrimp brand. Anyways, now typically on the dosing instructions, this thing says about 3 grams per 5 gallons. The scoop that comes with right here is about 5 grams. But for a shrimp tank like this, we're not going to chase or calculate based on what this says and what we want. Instead, we're just going to dose a little bit in here, stir it up, and then we'll calculate the TDS and go from there. With crystal shrimp, from my own research, we're trying to shoot for a TDS range of 120 to 150. That right there provides the best breeding rate, as well as having it be soft enough for the caridina to live. So what I'm going to do is take, well, before we actually do that, let's actually show you what the TDS is in the bucket. So the TDS is currently at about 1 or 0, judging from the flux of error rate. So we're going to go with, we'll start with about half a scoop right here. Just dump it in this bucket. And now what I'm going to do is take this spoon that I have, and we're just going to stir it a little bit. Now, do realize that when doing this, it's better to do it probably the day before you do the water change. Because with the water changes I've done recently, I've found that it takes about a day before the mineralizer fully dissolves and you get the true TDS. But by doing it this way, we do get pretty close. And the tank right now is currently at about 100 TDS. Well, I think it was about 120 when I checked it a few minutes ago. So there is a little bit of room for error. And then again, there are no shrimp in it in the meantime, so it's not that big of a deal. But we still want to treat it as though there is shrimp. So I'm just going to continue stirring this up. I don't really see, I see a little bit of minerals still, so let's stir it up a little more. Reach for my TDS pen now. I see most of it. There's still some left, but it's mostly gone. So right there, we're at about 88 TDS. So taking into consideration that some of this is probably not fully dissolved yet, I would say we're probably closer around 100. So I'm just going to take a little bit more. Just take a tiny pinch. Put some more in there. Let's check that again. So now on this TDS meter, we're reading at about 135. So once again, judging that not all of this is fully dissolved yet, I would say we're probably closer to about 150. Now, because the range in the tank of the TDS right now is currently at about 120, by putting this at 150 or so in there should be fine. That should leave a little bit of room. It'll probably wind up around 140 in the tank together. So typical move would be is that I would just actually let this sit overnight to let it come to room temp and make sure all that's dissolved in the TDS is right where I estimated. I'm going to save this bottle for next time. But because I already just did a water change on the tank last night, actually, why don't I just take you to the tank right now and we can take a look and check TDS and make sure things are in check and go from there. Alright guys, so this is the tank that I just did a water change on last night. Again, it's been 3 weeks since you saw the beginning half of the video, so it's been some time. As you can see, the pink flamingo crypts are actually starting to settle in. They're growing new leaves, popping out, which is great. So is the grass. It's actually starting to send out runners right there. That's a good sign. Let's test the TDS. And I can tell you where it's at right now. So we're at about 123, which is right in the bottom range of where we want it to be. Remember, 120 to 150 is the best rate you can get. Let's give one big shot look at the tank. Alright guys, that's all I got for you today. Doesn't matter what kind of remineralize you're using. It can be salty shrimp, it can be this. You can technically get by with equilibrium too, but it's better to have one that's shrimp specific, because equilibrium again is better for plants than shrimp, but it still works. That's all I got for you today. I hope you guys have had a Merry Christmas over the past few weeks. The progress vlog on the next video next week. If you subscribe, so please do so. That would help me a ton. Thank you for joining me. My name is Taylor from Fishbox Studio. I'll catch you next time.